Hey, what's going on, everybody? Super excited for you guys to watch the Jump Cut special. This is just a bunch of riffs and a couple of my old favorite stories grouped together from a weekend I did at one of my favorite clubs in the country, Comedy Works in Denver. I hope you enjoy Jump Cut special, and remember, tune in for a new live hour of comedy March 4th, streaming at 8 o'clock Central. Go to comedianjoshwolf.com for tickets to watch the new special, Father Time. But in the meantime, enjoy the Jump Cut special, y'all. Later.
Put your hands together, everyone, for Josh Wolf. What's going on? Well, you guys stop clapping all at fucking once, okay? It's what's going on? Saturday Late Show. Yeah, all right. First of all, thank you guys for coming down. And, man, how many people tell you that you look like Guy Fieri? Everybody? Yeah, so I would shave the goatee then. No. I say it every time I come to Denver. I'm fucking winded all the time here. I mean, before I start the special, like, you'll notice about 30 minutes in if I'm like, it's so embarrassing, and I said it before, I said it again. I don't know how you guys do it, but like, you feel good here, right? And people exercise, yeah. And then when you go down to street level, do you fucking fight crime and shit? Is that what you do? Down to sea level? You guys pick up cars over your heads, and you're like, are you a superhero? No, I'm from Denver, motherfucker! Right there, winded, raised my voice, tired as fuck, dude, okay. Walking around downtown Denver, you guys have some, you got some spoiled homeless people here. They got, literally bought some food, walked it out to the dude, he opened it and he goes, I don't eat that. I go, what do you mean? He goes, what is that, hummus? I go, yeah. And he goes, I don't eat that. I'm like, why not? He was like, I don't like the texture. I'm like, you live in a box. Eat the fucking hummus. This isn't the first bad decision you've made, I promise you. Today I got asked a question that nobody has ever asked me before, and it fucking stumped me. I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone. I was interviewing him. We were doing a little interview for me, and I asked him a question. I'm sure he's been asked a million times. He's a gay guy, and I asked him, I said, when did you know you were gay? And he told me. And then he asked me a question nobody's ever asked me before. At the end of the interview, he said to me, when did you know you weren't gay? And I was like, what? He goes, what was the moment? And I was like, was there supposed to be a moment? So I started to think about it. I'm like, was there a moment? And I think there was, and I bet you it's the same for most straight guys. The moment you realize you're not gay is when you're a teenager and you're masturbating. And you look down at the wrong time and you get a little bit of your own cum on your face, you're like, I don't fucking like that at all. You know that? You know, it's happened to all of us one point in time. That hits your face, you're like, I'm not on that team, that's not my team, I don't like that shit. Yeah. You know, it's funny, I told my brother, I go, yeah, man. And he goes, yeah, that happened to me twice, dude. I go, twice? Yeah, I knew I didn't like it enough the first time where I was like, that shit is not happening to me again. That means you leaned into it the second time, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So, you guys, first of all, I love this club. And I'm super excited. I have been waiting I've been waiting to try these stories at this club. So you guys, we're gonna hear just a sweatshirt, everybody. We're gonna hear some jokes nobody's heard. We're ready for some new stuff. Okay. Okay, so.
Come on, Queen City.
Oh, I had no idea why you said that. I was like, what am I putting out there that's my nickname all of a sudden? It's weird when you take off your sweatshirt and someone's like, what's up, Queen City? And you're like, got it.
We gotta leave, sir. We're gotta leave. I guess we're too loud. We gotta leave.
I just want you to know, nobody's that surprised. I know you sound surprised. I guess we gotta leave. I don't want people think I'm loud. Might be a good idea. I mean, not fucking 1 ounce of self-awareness. I guess she thinks I'm being loud. Jesus. Not the best way to fucking plead your case, I guess. Alright. Well, that was fun. My daughter, by the way, and I will say this with confidence, a ride or die chick. She always has been. Let me tell you something. Here's how I knew right up front about her. Okay. So my youngest son, Jacob, was about 4. We're at one of those indoor playgrounds. And my daughter was probably 7. There was a 10-year-old boy picking on my son. And I was like, oh, I'm off to beat the fuck out of a 10-year-old today. And then my daughter walks up to him and goes, and he's this much taller. She walks up and she goes, hey! And he goes, yeah. And she goes, you see this? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, and he goes, what was that for? And she goes, you're going to see a lot more of it if you don't stop messing with him. Move along. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, My son, ready for this? So he's not super bright. And at my house, cleaning out the trash is one of my jobs. So I go into his room to empty the trash can, and there's 12 rubber wrappers and rubbers in there. And I go, yeah, that's the look I had too. I was like, that's a good week's work right there. Definitely a teenager. My age, I'm like, listen, you can hold on to those other 8 because that's not happening. So I call him in. I go, hey, man. And he's like, yeah. I go, first of all, I thought we were going to talk before you had sex. And he goes, no, we are. It's something completely different. And I was like... I was like, what? He goes, well, if you must know, I think I'm going to have sex soon, so I'm just practicing putting them on and taking them off. And I said, dude, why are you doing that? And he goes, Dad, I've never had sex before. I don't want it to take so long where I give her a chance where she could change her mind. And I was like, you know what, dude, you're not that stupid. That's pretty smart, actually. One time, okay, so his girlfriend, we're gonna get a little hot and heavy, and he wanted the fatherly talk, and he comes home super excited. He's like, Dad, okay, hey, all right. So you know Ashley and I are gonna be alone together for the first time, and we're gonna be doing some things that I've never done before. And he goes, so I was wondering if I could just ask you a couple questions, but they might make you a little uncomfortable. And I was like, well, don't you have a friend? I mean, look, if you're gonna die, we should talk. But other than that, I don't need to know anything that's happened. And he was like, Dad, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of my friends, so can I ask you? I'm like, all right. And he goes, okay. So he goes, now listen, Dad,
we're gonna be alone together. You know, I like her a lot, and I don't want to embarrass myself, and I want her to still like me on Saturday, so just give me the right answers, okay? And I go, okay, dude. And he goes, okay. So we're gonna be kissing, and my eyes are gonna be closed, right? And I go, yeah. Don't be creepy, open-eye kissy guy. Isn't that the worst? When you're kissing somebody and you just crack your eye, but they're like this. And you're like, well, fucking tonight's the night I die, I guess. Okay. I don't know why you'd stare at me from an inch away, you fucking psycho. Okay, good. And he goes, yeah. I go, yeah, eyes closed. And he goes, okay, Dad, good. Question number 1 answered. And he goes, you know I know what to do here. And he told me he was a bra. He doesn't know how to undo a bra. But either did I leaving high school. So I was like, you know, you figure it out, right? Yeah, I didn't tell him. Guys, when I wanted to see boobs in high school, my bra move was this. You know what and it cuts the titties in half, and you're like, why are they so low? What's the deal? So he goes, you know I know what to do here. And I go, you got that? And he goes, yeah, okay. And he goes, and then Dad, and he starts to slowly walk his fingers down his stomach. And I'm like, what the fuck is about to happen? And he goes, and then Dad, he goes, this area here, and I'm just gonna quote it because I don't think I could beat it with a joke that I would write. He goes, this area here, this is where I hear things get a little tricky. And I said, no, yeah, you're right. That's correct, yep. And he said, you know, Dad, because if my eyes are closed and the lights are out, I can't see anything. So, like, how when you're doing it, like, how do you... Okay, when you're, like, how would you... And he was like, oh, let me just start over. Kissing, eyes closed. Boobs, like them. Take a walk down to Tricky Town. Here we are. And I was thinking, I knew I should have got high today. Like, this is like... And he goes, cause Dad, like this, you know, this, like when you're doing it, like, what's your, This is getting awkward, isn't it? And I said, dude, we are so far past awkward. I'm on fucking suicide watch. Will you ask me the question? Shit. Okay, Dad, I'm gonna ask you. Here we go. How, like when you're, Dad, okay? Okay, here we go. Dad, when you do it, how do you touch a woman's banana? How do you do that? And I was like, you wanna know how I oh, dude. I can't tell you that. I don't know, Google it. Why are you asking me? Shit. It's on the internet, for sure it's on the internet. And I'm not giving you my secrets. I worked really hard for those secrets. Not everything works in high school, right? Trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Some shit works, some shit doesn't. You fucking try something else. Look, every man in America stumbled out of the gates. You think I'm gonna kick you to the finish line? Fuck you. Figure it out like the rest of us did. Put your time in, son. You don't go from apprentice to sorcerer in one day. That's all I'm saying. Pretty sure it took Harry Potter 7 movies, right? 7? 8? I don't fucking know. All I'm saying is the first time I went down a girl's pants, nobody told me, although it would have been nice. The first time I went down a girl's pants, nobody told me that the hole was so far back. I remember pushing around here for like 20 minutes. I'm like, what's the deal with this? Is it gonna pop open, or? No wonder they call it the clam. I think I'm hitting the shell right now. Like, do I need a Wi-Fi password for this motherfucker? Little pig, let me in. Like, I don't know what's happening. And then when I finally hit a hole, I thought, I'm so far back, I'm in the wrong one for sure. I slipped over the vagina. And teenage boys are the worst at sex. Because when I finally realized I was in the right place, I just left my finger there like I was taking her temperature or something. No movement or anything, just this the whole time.
Like she was a Thanksgiving turkey and I was just waiting. I think I even leaned in and was like, does that feel good, baby? Now, I'll tell you something else. You know, when my son was growing up, when he was learning how to ride a bike, I did not allow him to wear elbow pads or knee pads. I did not. Guys, listen, the biggest mistake you can make with your kid is to protect them from anything bad happening to them until they're 18. That's why we have these giant fucking babies walking around the streets, because we haven't allowed the kids to overcome obstacles. Look, I want my son to know when he jumps and falls off a bike, if he scrapes his knee, all he has to do is go like this, get back on the fucking bike. Now look, I made him wear a helmet. That I wouldn't, you know, that's a tough lesson to learn. Yeah, You don't want him at the family reunion like, Dad said it would make me tough. Like, you don't want that. Hey, can I have some more cream cans, please? Yeah, But elbow pads and knee pads, yeah. And I know some people called me a bad parent. Am I the bad parent? No. Or am I, look, if the first time my son scraped his knee was when he was 18 years old, and he's running across a college campus trying to find a girl, and he's like, oh my God, what is that pain? I don't know what that is. Yeah. He's gonna start wearing knee pads, but for a different reason. You heard me. Now look. Old age, look, we're getting older, like, and I will tell you, like, okay. You know, I did notice a little part of my body. This is like the thing that I noticed, the first thing I noticed I was getting a little older. Okay, my wife's here, so it's okay to tell this. Okay. So we're all familiar with the term "cum shot," right? Yeah, as you get older, it's not as much of a shot. You know what I mean? It's like a slow drip. You know what I mean? Like it used to come out like this, yeah, and now it just kind of goes. Right? I mean, I could give you a facial, but it's gonna be like this. That seems aggressive. I would never do that to somebody. That seems aggressive. I grew up poor, and my dad was also pretty cheap. And because of that, I missed out on a lot of experiences. And I grew up, man, I'm bummed that I did this, but I grew up through my 20s and 30s, like, if I saw a steak on the menu that was $24 and I saw chicken that was $17, I'd be like, I should get the chicken, even though I wanted the steak. Do you know what I mean? Like, I fucking hate that my dad put that in my head. So what I've started to do is, listen, guys, it's important not to be willy-nilly with your fucking money, but if you got $100 and it's between saving $100 and going to a concert you've always wanted to see, go to that fucking concert. Here's the deal. A year from now, you're not going to have any idea where that $100 went, but you'll remember the concert. So make some fucking memories while you can still make some memories, all right? So, taking that into account, last September, I got to see 6 bands in one weekend, all on the bucket list. Now, I spent more than I should have on this concert. It was old cello. It was Coachella for old people. Did anybody go? Did you know what I'm talking about? It was the Stones, The Who, McCartney, Neil Young, Roger Waters, and Bob Dylan, all in the same weekend. It was amazing. Has anyone in here ever seen Bob Dylan before? Yeah, he eats a bag of dicks, that motherfucker. He's so bad. Did he play any hits when you saw him? Not one fucking hit. Dude doesn't play one hit. Are you kidding me? And I was so mad. I'm like, play Tangled and Blue. And the guy next to me was like, yeah, well, it's Bob Dylan. He's earned the right to play what he wants. And I would agree with you if he's playing in his own fucking living room, but he wasn't. There were 90,000 people there who paid a lot of fucking money. Paint Tangles Up in Blue, you piece of beef jerky. Fuck you. I will fight Bob Dylan right now. I'll tell you that right now. I'll fight that motherfucker. I think I got a shot at Bob Dylan. I'd like to hit him once just to hear him go, just a quick. But on the way in, right, I told my brothers, I'm like, hey guys, I'm taking mushrooms this weekend. And they were like, which night? I said, did you hear me? This weekend. And they were like, why are you gonna, they go, you're gonna do that by yourself? And I said, no, there's gonna be 90,000 people there. And they were like, but you don't know any of them. I was like, well, I'm gonna. Now, okay, so, and by the way, I did it out of respect for the bands we were going to see. I felt like they would want me to be fucked up, right? So, Brett's got a curiosity, round of applause, and I'm assuming this will be a larger round of applause than in most cities. People who have taken mushrooms before. Okay, guys, I was in Huntsville, Alabama last weekend. I asked that question, and one dude goes, I got some on my salad right now. And I was like, yeah, not what I'm talking about. So after Dylan, I was like, I'm taking the mushrooms now. I'm not putting myself through another disappointing show. Now, following Dylan was the Stones, and I had never seen the Stones before. And so, and by the way, sitting next to me was this old Hispanic couple. And the dude had those, like the round, tiny glasses, and he had a tiny ponytail, you know, one of these? And it was pulled tight, so dude looked surprised the whole show, like. So, and she scratched his back the entire concert. Shh, shh, shh. 2.5 hours. Shh, 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 shh. So about 5 minutes before the music starts, I get my first little warm hug, and I'm like, I'm like, this is about to be the best night of my fucking life, right? And so the guy next to me, he turns to me and he goes, hey man. And I go, hey. And he goes, what's your name? I said, Josh. And he said, who do you think the best rock band of all time is, Josh? And listen, guys, I'm about to trip balls, right? So the last thing I want to do is have a conversation with the Mexican John Lennon. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm on Pasadena on that right fucking now, right? So I just tell him what I think is going to answer stop most conversation. I said, the Beatles. And he goes, whoa, man, it's the Stones. She and I have seen the Stones 66 times. Shh, 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 shh. And she said, yeah, and we re-fall in love every show. And I was like, yeah, that's sweet. And I said, that's going to be very cool for me to watch the Stones for the first time, next to people who've seen them 66 times. And I'm going to watch them re-fall in love right in front of my face that's about to melt off my fucking skull. You know what I mean? I felt like telling him, I hope you don't mind watching this concert next to the Ghost Rider, because I'm not for sure what's going to happen from here on out, you know? So, and then start in. Dun, 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 and I'm like, oh my God, right? I couldn't believe what was happening. Not kidding. 10 minutes in, dude turns to me and he goes, hey man. And I go, hey? And he goes, what's your name? And I was like, I said, Josh? And he goes, who do you think the best rock and roll band of all time is, Josh? And for a second I thought, oh my God, these mushrooms are amazing! I was like, this is the most visceral deja vu I've ever had in my entire life. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you, for a second I thought, I can see the fucking future. Like, I know how this conversation ends. Oh, I'm gonna see this concert twice, fuck yeah! But we did the whole thing 66 times, re-fall in love. Shh, 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 shh. Not kidding. No joke. 12 minutes later, dude turns to me and he goes, "Hey, man." And I go, "Don't you ask me that fucking question again, dude." And his wife goes to me, "You'll have to excuse him. Shh, 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 shh. He's done a lot of drugs. He doesn't have any short-term memory." And I was like, "Well, no wonder you got to see the Stones 66 fucking times." And just so you know, you don't re-fall in love. He thinks he bangs some chick at the Stones concert every weekend. Like, not as romantic as you think it is, ma'am. I'm just saying. And then, I will tell you what the true privilege of my life being there that weekend was watching a generation of people watch their idols for the last time. Guys, so cool to see. So cool to see because they were partying without inhibition. Look, if we saw a bar full of 65-year-old people upstairs getting fucked up, you'd be like, "Go home." Yeah, you'd make a group decision. You're like, "Hey, all of you, you need to go." Right? But this concert was for them. It was for them to come and relive a snapshot of their life. So they partied without inhibition. And it was amazing to see. And because of that, there was a lot of old white guy dance circles popping up all over the place. If you haven't seen one of those. And when I say dance circle, there was a lot of two-gun salutes, you know, a lot of... And you could tell when they liked the song, you know why? The guns went up in the air, right? There was one guy near me doing a lot of the pencil. And then near me also, there was a big guy doing kicks like this. He had to go like 240, big dude. He's kicking, he's like, "Yeah!" And I was like, "Look at the big guy go, like he's killing it." And then big guy just collapses. And I was like, "Oh no!" He fucking river danced himself to death, like. And he's not moving. And I'm like, "Oh, this dude is in fucking trouble," right? So they come in, EMTs come, they put him on a stretcher, wheel him out, you know, and he's saying his eyes are closed, and one of his friends who's near me leans over and goes, the dude has to be like mid-60s or something. And he leans over and he goes, "Hey man, you're gonna be okay." And the guy just opens his eyes and he goes, "Yeah, I'm just really tired." And his friend said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I got tired from dancing around, so I laid down on the ground." And then the EMT said, "Yeah, I can't lay here." And I told him, "I'm not fucking getting up, I'm too tired." And the EMT said, "If you don't get up, sir, we're gonna have to wheel you out of here." And I said, "That actually sounds kind of nice." Rock and roll! And this is when shit got a little weird. There was about a 280, 290-pound dude running around shirtless doing this to people. And I'm watching him and I'm like, "Oh, I really hope he doesn't come over here, you know, like." So he comes over and his belly's all sweaty, so there's like tracers flying off his stomach. And his whole stomach's moving all at once, and I'm like, "I'm never looking away." I knew I was gonna get fucking trapped in that thing, right? And then he said something to me that I promise you has never been uttered before in the history of human beings. He shakes his belly at me, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Hey!" I go, "What's up?" He goes, "How many knuckles deep do you think you can go on my belly button?" I go, "What?" He goes, "How many knuckles deep?" I go, "None. None knuckles deep, dude. 0 knuckles deep." And he goes, "Why not?" I was like, "Wow, why would I?" And he goes, "Everybody's doing it." And I go, "Who? Who the fuck is doing that?" And he goes, "Everybody." Now look, guys, I'm shrooming. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be the only guy who doesn't finger fuck this dude's belly button. You know what I mean? I don't want to be Debbie Downer. You know what I mean? I want to be part of the group. So I go to him, I go, "Oh, what
finger should I use? And he goes, I'd use the index. I go, okay. Guys, wait, it gets so much worse. So, I go to lube up my finger, right? And he goes, nah, you won't need lube. And I was like, oh, that's good news for me. And it just fucking, with room to spare, right? And I look at him, I go, we got room to spare, big fella. And he goes, okay. And I go to pull my finger out. And you know when you put your finger in one of those Chinese finger locks? And for whatever reason, when you try to pull it out, it clamps down on it. I couldn't get my finger out of his fucking belly button. I went full palm on this dude's stomach, like, nah. Because there's no way I'm going out like that, right? I'm like, come on. And it just popped out, right? As soon as it pops out, he looks at me and he goes, we finally found somebody to do it! I said, I thought everybody was doing that. He goes, who would do that? I go, that's what I fucking said! Now, let's get into a little truth time. You ready for a little truth time? Truth time. As a man, I had to fight every fiber in my body not to smell that finger one fucking time. Don't yuck me, you hypocritical motherfucker. You raise your nuts, the first thing you do is smell them. You got a unicorn on your finger. You're never gonna smell that shit again. Now listen, I did not do it. I gave my brother a dirty Sanchez and I was like, hey dude, what does that smell like? He walked around the whole day like this. Hey, what was that? What is that? Because that's the type of asshole I am. Now somebody asked me to tell this story, so I certainly will. I have a favorite practical joke. I love practical jokes. They're like my favorite thing to do to people. I like being the recipient too. Like a good practical joke, I'm on board for that shit too. And my kids know that I scare easy. By the way, I scare my kids and pull practical jokes on them. I want you to know that I scare easy. I'm a jazz hander. Now, my daughter has more videos of me doing this. Ah, fuck you! Because my always follows with a fuck you. And I try to get a little more manly after my fuck you! So, I love practical jokes. This is my best one ever. My buddy asked me to throw him a bachelor party. And I was like, man, you don't want me to do that. I said, I'm a comedian. I always go for the laugh, and then I hope we can shake hands and be friends later. But I'm going to fuck up your day. And he was like, I don't think you'll do that. I said, I don't think you're listening. I'm already trying to decide how to fuck with you, so can we just like not have me do it? And he was like, buddy, you've been to Vegas more than any of us. You planned the party, you get the girl. Now look, I got him a girl for the end of his party. That's what he wanted, a stripper. I'm not a stripper guy. I never have been a stripper guy. I don't really care. But he wanted a stripper for the end of his party. That's cool. I wanted the beginning of the party to be for me. And what did I want to watch? What do I like way more than strippers? I like weird shit. Guys, if you're like, hey man, this is about to be some weird shit happening in an alley, I'll be like, I'm gonna fucking watch that. 100%. I love it. How weird? I wanted people walking out of his party like this. What the fuck just happened in there? Like, was some guy walking out with a limp? Like, why are my hands dirty? Like, weird shit, right? Where did I think I could find that? I went on Craigslist in Vegas. Oh, guys, I have never felt so horny and sad at the same time in my entire life. Scrolling through. It's all sex stuff. I don't want that. I want weird. And then weird jumped off the screen at me. This woman's advertisement was 3 words. That's it. And those 3 words were,
I'll wrestle ya. And I was like, fuck yeah, you will. That at least deserves a phone call, I think, right? I call her on the phone. She is 6'250". And her special skill is that she'll come over to your house, she'll get naked, and she'll toss you around for a little while. And I was like, well, what time can you get here? So she shows up, and I open the door, and she's legitimate 6'250", right? And she's holding a foot-long sub and 24 buffalo wings. Not kidding. And she waves them in my face, and she goes, "You got a room where I could go fuel up before the match?" And I was like, first of all, fuck yes I do, right in there. And I said, second of all, you should know that the person you're wrestling today doesn't know there's gonna be a match. You know, I don't know if that changes your professional approach at all. So she goes off into her room. My buddy comes over, and we've got him on a stool just like this one. And my other friends are standing behind him, and we get him blindfolded. And he's, well, I don't want to ruin the surprise, you know. And he's like, "Oh, this chair is one Ralphie May away from an accident. I'll tell you that right now." Oh. You don't think he knows he's 900 pounds? He fucking knows. Look at this. So, he's sitting there and he's like, "I'm so excited." And I was like, "Me too." And he says, "I'm ready." And I said, "Okay," and I call her out. Now, none of my other friends knew what I had planned. So when she walked out of that room naked, collectively they were like, "What the fuck?" And as she got closer, I saw she still had buffalo wing saws around her neck. And I was gonna get her a napkin, but I was like, "I'm sorry, that shit is too funny on your face. I am so sorry." So she stands in front of him, 6'250". Oh, I forgot to tell you the best part. My buddy, 5'8", and 140, and like a soft 140, right? So the size difference alone, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fucking like it. And he says, "I'm ready." And I said, "Okay." And I take off his blindfold. And the only word he could get out of his mouth before she ripped him out of his chair was, "Why?" Right? And she lifted him up like this. His little feet were dangling in the air. She started to toss him around the room like a rag doll, and we were all like, guys, she would jump on top of him, and he had to push her fat out of his face to talk to us. He would be like, "Tell her to stop. How long is she gonna be here? I can't breathe. Why does she smell like buffalo wings?" Right? There was one time where she was straddling him like this, beating him in the face with her titties. Just. I don't think you're getting the right visual. Okay. Guys, this isn't 5'2", 110-pound, bink, bink titties. This is 6 foot, 250. Just. Titties. That's how big her titties were. They made that noise through the air. It was like being hit with a tit missile, just. Dude had a swollen eye from titty punches. You'd never seen that in the history of fucking Never Ever, I'll tell you that right now. So she thinks her job is done, right? She walks over here to this side of the room. My buddy gets up mad. You know when you can tell someone is mad where they never take their eyes off of that thing they're mad at? So he gets up and he walks away from her like this. And then something in him just snapped. And he just looks at her and he goes, I'm gonna fuck you up. And like a wave of calm crashed over her, like serious, like Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon calm. She was just like, and they ran at each other. Guys, you understand what's happening? They're fucking fighting for real now. It's the best gift I've ever given to myself ever. Are you kidding me? They're running at each other. I'm like, I don't even know how this is gonna end. Oh my God, right? They're running at each other, and my buddy was mad, and he screamed, I want to take you down! Running at each other, full speed. And he ran into her. I'm gonna tell you something, he really did try to take her down. I'll tell you what, he did not. All I can tell you is that when his little body hit hers, she kind of absorbed him for a second, and he disappeared. I was like, where the fuck did he go? And then she just shot him out across the room. Boom, and he slid on the floor, and one of my friends ran up to him and went, that just fucking happened to you! And she was mad that he challenged her or something, so she goes to us, you want to see my finishing move? You want me to finish him? And I grew up with Hulk Hogan and Randy the Macho Man Savage, so I was like, you fucking finish him! I didn't know if she was coming off the top rope or dropping a leg or whatever. I wanted to see that shit, right? So she starts to run to him, and she was like, finish him? And we go, yeah! She goes, finishing move? And we go, yeah! And she goes, you want to see the finishing move? And we go, yeah! And then she sat on his head, and we went, no! Not that finishing move, fuck! Guys, his little head disappeared. All you could see were his tiny arms slapping her back, like... Oh, it was a fight for life, I'm telling you that right now. It was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. It was like a reverse birth. It was fucked up, that's all I'm saying. And here's how you know you pulled a good practical joke. A good practical joke is a joke that continues to pay dividends long after the joke is over. So, like a month and a half after the wedding, after the party, 2 weeks before the wedding, I ran into his dad. And his dad goes, hey, you're not coming to the wedding? I was uninvited to the wedding, by the way. Totally worth it, totally worth it. You guys want to see how he uninvited me? This is my favorite part. This is how he uninvited me. She just got off of him. And he stands up and he goes, you're not coming to the wedding! So here's how his dad goes, you're not coming to the wedding? I go, no. And he goes, why not? And I said, Tim didn't tell you? And he said, no. And I go, well, do you got a couple minutes? Sit down, sit down. And then his dad used that story as his best man speech at the wedding. Fucking winner, winner. All right, let's sing a couple tunes and get out of here. All right, so I'm not a good guitar player. Everybody should know that right up front. I play twice a week for 7 minutes at a time. And what's that?
Lion King.
Lion King. It's the weirdest guitar request of all time. Lion. I wonder who leaves Lion King is like, I gotta learn that shit on guitar for sure. Lion King? You good, dude? Are you good? You good? I know he did. I've been looking at it. I've had 9-1 dialed on my phone for the last fucking 30 minutes. Just ready to press that last one for you at any time. There was one point in time where I was like, I don't even know what the fuck he's looking at. Did you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you with him too? Yeah, no, I love this guy, but because there were a couple times, dude, right, where I was like, oh, he's not paying it. He's like, if I'm here, you'd be like this. And then out of nowhere, you'd be like, and I was like, I don't know what show he's watching, but it seems fun. Come on board, brother. I've been right there with you. That's why I'm asking. You good? He's good? All right, good. Yeah. What's your name, man? Josh? All right, man. Yeah. Josh, what's that? Yeah, this song is for you. It's not. I wrote the song after I talked to this girl I went to high school with. And I remembered when we were in high school, we had decided we were going to be each other's firsts. Because we were the last two virgins that we knew. And I remember when we were in high school, I called her. I was like, you know what? We should be each other's first. Like, because we went to preschool together. So I've known you forever. Like, you can't do anything to embarrass yourself in front of me. I can't embarrass myself in front of you. Let's be each other's first. And she said, you know what? That's a great idea. We're going to be each other's first. This is going to be a magical night. And this song is how that night went. Said I'd be your first and you'd be mine. We'd be together until the end of time. I laid her down and I kissed her lips. Jeans on jeans and hips on hips. Well, things were going just as we'd planned. She was my girl and I was her man. Yeah, and right before we began, well, I came in my pants. I came right in my pants. Oh, please don't tell my friends that I came in my pants. And she was good to me. Said it could happen to anyone. She said she'd give it a second try. She called the first one a dry run. I set the mood just right. And to make sure what happened last night didn't happen again, I jerked off 4 times before she came over. And then I jerked off 2 more times because I was a teenager and I could do that back then and it fucking felt great. And I wish there were more guys in here because they would get that. And she looked so pretty. She unbuttoned my jeans, no mess. Hello, Kitty. Yeah, and then my hand brushed her titty. And I came on her pants. I came on her lime green pants. What the fuck is going on? I'll never see a vagina at this rate. Yeah, years went by, and we talked from time to time. I met her husband at the reunion. I really liked him. He was a nice guy. He and I were about 8 drinks in. Don't get ahead of me now, don't get ahead of me, don't get ahead of me. When he smiled and he said, you know, man, I gotta tell you, and he said with a grin. I know you came in your pants, and that you came on her pants too. You know she tells all her friends. The guy on TV came in his pants. She started a Facebook page, and it's called Sticky Drawers, where you can tell funny stories about sex. Oh, and believe me, she's told yours. I wanted revenge, I didn't know what to do. We all got drunk and ended up in my room. They passed out first. That's a rookie move. So I came on her pants, and then I came on his pants too. Put that on your Facebook page with a big old fuck you. All right, so I wrote this song. This is the first weekend I'm doing it without my notebook, so I hope I remember it. I'm not a good guitar player. I wrote this song around Valentine's Day because my wife is just so good at buying fucking gifts, but I always tell her, you think too hard about it. Gifts for guys, super easy. You don't have to think so hard. Father's Day, Valentine's Day, birthday, doesn't matter. And so this song is, she's actually right here tonight, so this song, you want to bring her out? Yeah. You're always so thoughtful. Gifts on my special day. Asking friends and family about things that make me feel great. But let me try to help you. Let me ease your mind. I just want a blowjob and a sandwich. Let me save you some time. I want a blowjob and a sandwich. I don't need another fucking tie. And I haven't worn cologne since the 8th grade. You and your sister use the couples massage. I want a blowjob and a sandwich. At the same time. At the same time. At the same time. Time me, time me, time me, time me, time me, time me, time. I like turkey on wheat. I like ham on rye. But to make this day complete, well, there's one more thing that I'd like to try. Now I know when guys say try, women always think that we're talking about anal. And that's true. But not this time. I'd just like a blowjob and a sandwich. While I'm watching TV, turn on ESPN, little March Madness. Watching men dribble balls up and down the court. Now I know on your special day, I'll give you anything that you need. Trips, jewelry, or clothing. I'd bring the moon down to its knees. You don't have to tell me. I know what you really want. You want me naked, washing dishes, in a Ryan Gosling mask, rowing boats in the rain, telling all of your friends quotes from the Notebook over again. I wrote her every What end of what Guns N' Roses song is that? Patience, right? Let's see if we get the voice tonight for this. Blowjob and a sandwich, yeah. A blowjob and a sandwich, yeah. A blowjob and a sandwich. I just want a blowjob and a sandwich while I watch TV in bed. I promise not to get any crumbs on your head. I just want a blowjob while I watch some TV. That'll feel so fine to me in a blowjob. Yeah, a sandwich. Blowjob. Sandwich. This time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Guys, I gotta go. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. We'll see you next time.
Josh Wolves, everybody. Come on, make some noise, man.